but they had a big run that spanned the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. And once they took that lead, they never looked back. So kudos to the St. John's Red Storm, Rick Pitino, for winning their eighth in a row and setting up a huge matchup with number three, UConn Huskies. You know, Pitino talked about UConn at the beginning of the season at Media Day, which we were at. Uh, Early talked about St. John's on Media Day before the season began. So these teams have been on a collision course. We knew UConn was going to be there. Um, After that Providence loss at MSG, we didn't know if if St. John's was going to uh, be there, but they're here. Eight in a row has put them there, and now this is going to take us back to those big matchups that the team had in October, in November, going against a powerhouse, and we are going to see what this team is made out of on Friday night.
Absolutely. You know, going back to your point about Dylan Mitchell, and he's been my guy all season. The article I just wrote about where they've elevated because he's now in the starting lineup. You couldn't be more accurate in your assessment of his willingness to be whatever the team needs. He said that Patino's recognized it, but here's what happened last night that was so critical to your point is that Mitchell was at the basket. The ball wasn't going in. This guy did not flinch. Things weren't going down for him, even though he was right there. He didn't give up on offense, but he dug in even deeper on defense. And although he got into foul trouble, the fouls were not again, the difficulty of the Big East is that the refs let you play until they don't. And Mitchell has been phenomenal all season in being that catalyst where he gets the steal or gets the block and then comes down the other way and makes the transition basket, either, putting it in himself or making the assist. He's the catalyst that takes this team to the next level. And last night you could see DePaul was doing their best to make Mitchell uncomfortable, to kind of push him off the block a little bit more because they recognize that next to Ejiofor, he really is the center and heart of the team in terms of how he plays and really picks them up to the next level. And his composure last night carried through the entire team. I actually mentioned this to a St. John's fan that their coherence as a team is beginning to really come into rhythm together, where you see they're almost like all on the same page. And what Mitchell did last night to that point was the fact that he didn't let it get to him when they were just making him have to work a little bit harder, have to do a little bit more